Good evening, this is episode 26. I am attempting to record what I'm starting to think of my musical misdemeanors as I try and put something together in here along with some friends. So this is Can an Album Be Written? I'm working on a song called Reef. So yeah, I've been going through the mix, and I've been playing around with different elements of it to try and make it sort of more than the sum of its kind of cobbled together parts that it has been up to now. So the first thing I kind of did, which again was kind of an accident, I ended up changing the key by dropping it down a string. So I'm now playing it in G as opposed to E. Also, the position on the neck seems to have opened up a couple of possibilities, which I'll talk to in a bit. And so I'm also now playing it on the Strat, which is, I don't think we see it in the video, but it's this essentially, which is I think I have talked about it on the channel. Anyway, I got this from a guy who lived down the road who bought a couple of guitars actually when he was younger. It's a Squire, like actually all of both of them. I definitely have talked about this. I know, Ruth's guitar maybe. Anyway, Squire Affinity. It's a late model though. It's like 2004 or something. I mean later than my two, or Ruth's mine. But anyway, and it's a Fat Strat. So it's got it's the first guitar I've ever played that's got like very thick fret wire. Everything else I've got has got very much more sort of vintage feel type necks. The neck does feel different actually than Ruth's Strat as well, and it's a HSS. So I've been using the bridge humbucker for this. It reacts really well on the volume to the fuzz pedal, which is nice. And yeah, I got it from a guy. It was 50 quid for this one, and I also got a PV something or other, which I checked out. In the end, I couldn't do anything with the PV. Just was no good. The neck was all kinds of shot. I think the screws had come out. It looked like it was made of ply. So I don't know much about PV guitars, but it didn't seem to be a very well put together piece of kit. I've ended up saving the neck, which is maybe able to see that right at the back there. It's behind the acoustic. I don't know why. I quite like the headstock shape. So I kind of have got it in my head that if I ever end up building a guitar that comes as a blank, and I have to cut the headstock shape, I might use that as a template. The neck's got a couple of nicks in it, so I'm not expecting to be able to use that for anything. I probably won't end up doing anything with it, if I'm perfectly honest. But who knows? Anyway, so I've been playing that for this. Yeah, and I've put it in a different key, as I said. So, and that has like opened up, and this is, I can only speak to my own experience. But when it comes to playing electric sort of lead parts, more so when you're playing electric rhythm, like my two defaults are, seventh chords in A-shaped bars up and down the neck, E-shaped bars up and down the neck, or riff somewhere around E. So, and I've been trapped in that hole essentially. Well, not a hole. I've always limited myself in some respects to that because that's where I feel uncomfortable. This kind of project is about trying things new, right, and doing different things with it. So, it's fair to say playing this on essentially the 5th and 7th on just the D string as opposed to playing something on the E has already kind of opened up places that I wouldn't normally kind of go. So, and I've always had this with the riffs. Certainly it's always down in the much lower register. I like the feel of the thicker strings. I feel like I can play sort of harder and with more feel. And I've never been someone who really kind of is very elegant sort of playing on the, for so many years I just broke all of the strings on the bottom of the neck. Anyway, that being said, this has just kind of led me to a place where I feel like I am opening up a few more places on the fretboard that I've not been before, which is interesting. And I think is going to add to the sort of songwriting. Because I think it'll take me to, maybe some interesting fuck-ups will put me into nice places to go to. So that seems quite fun. It's already kind of happening a little bit. I have recorded a bass part for this here. Done a few takes of it, haven't got anything really solid. Partly because I'm still trying to work out what the basic template for the electric will be, and without knowing exactly, well, not exactly where the electric's going to go, but not having any consistency really in the electric performance is making it difficult to write the bass, and I don't think I can write the bass part without the electric part in there. So it's one of those situations. I'm still using the same drums. I've still got that same horrible ratty vocal in there. It was interesting last night. I actually made a video about it and then decided to scrap it. But it's worth saying in this one as well that actually when I listen to the mix of this, it kind of reminds me of walking into a band room and hearing a mate's band sort of playing around with a new piece of stuff. And I'm sure that's partly because of the nature of the material itself in some ways, because it just reminds me of that period of my life anyway. But it's also about the fact that the everything's off. No one really is 100% sure what they're doing. It's a solid beat, but very unimaginative. But there's something there, so that's quite encouraging. I quite like that feeling, especially since I'm doing nothing live at the moment. So that's quite cool. But anyway, so I'll put a bit of the mix that I've got so far. I won't put the bass in because it is so far off. But I'll do a little bit of what the Strat sounds like, and leave it there. Cheers.